only 10 times out of a solar cycle that it gets this high.
The cycle is
11 years.
11 years.
For solar
So we can say that's one of the strongest solar eruptions in 11 years. Yeah?
No, it's the solar radiation storm of this magnitude only occurs roughly about 10 times per cycle.
10 times per cycle.
Yes.
Okay. 10 times per 11 years. Okay. And why can't you launch? I mean, it can damage the components or...
Yes, because of the fragile electronics inside of the launch, inside the Cygnus and the TARDIS launch, is all because of, look at here, this shows the highest frequency level, which is for radio operations. You notice a lot of levels around the polar regions are fairly high, which causes a lot of distortions in the communication. So the risk that possibly could have is if they were to launch it, they could lose communication with the rocket itself and could cause a lot of issues.
Okay, and some CubeSats can go be damaged.
It could be damaged or completely unfunctional.
And talking about the ISS crew, how are they dealing with this?
I haven't really heard anything about like what the International Space Station's doing themselves. They do have protective bunkers for such events like this that they can stay in. One thing I worry about is the launch is supposed to be postponed until tomorrow. I worry about with advancing coronal mass ejection that tomorrow might not happen either. Because one thing, the very strong solar winds is supposed to be upwards to 700 to 900 kilometers per second, along with more increased solar radiation and as well as strong geomagnetic storming.
What possibility did you give in your consideration? Is there a big chance that it will crash tomorrow, or very small? How many percent?
In my personal opinion, tomorrow I don't think it's going to happen either. They might get pushed until possibly Friday, even Saturday, because this geomagnetic storm is supposed to last for 2 days into January 10th.
And it still grows, the strength of the storm, or slows down?
It begins to slow down after January 10th, but the effects of the strong geomagnetic storm can last upwards to 24 to possibly 36 hours.
Okay, and we only have the window till January 12th, right?
It
Or
seems
tomorrow, or we don't know when?
we don't really know yet. It's kind of just a play-by-ear to see how the solar radiation levels as well as the geomagnetic storm is expected to hit tomorrow. It's going to affect the launch-wise.
And talking about this, kaip tos matosi žalios, vadinasi pašvaistė, kaip angliškai. This green things you see in the sky.
Northern Lights.
Yeah, Northern
Yes.
Lights. Were they seen somewhere, or is still going to be somewhere?
Right now, for the forecast for Northern Lights, it's going to actually get down into Oregon, Illinois, and possibly into Pennsylvania and Maryland for the next, for overnight tonight into tomorrow night. So this is pretty unusual rare event for not normally seeing it that far south out of the polar regions.
Can this radiation make any problems on Earth?
To an extreme level, if the geomagnetic storm is strong enough, it can cause cell phone communications completely having like distortions, satellite radios, satellite TV, normal radio operations, and in very extreme cases, some power grid issues.
Okay. But it will not happen.
Yeah, that's not the very likely chance unless it gets stronger than anticipated.
Okay.
How do you know all this?
Personal experiences, personal research I've done myself.
Do you do blogging or what?
Kind of, yes. I do it like a lot of on Facebook-wise. Between AccuWeather.com astronomy is where
So you live in space, almost.
What's that?